All right, so we're here today at Elevate Systems, and we are so excited to speak with our chamber members. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves right now.
I am Maricela Gray, and I'm the CEO of Elevate Systems.
I'm Scott Gray. I'm the president of Elevate Systems.
Thank you so much for having us here today. We are so excited to talk to you about our new program, our Business of the Month, where we are highlighting our business members and getting your information out to them, specifically about what you do and who you are. So again, thank you very much for having us. So first things first, tell us a little bit about Elevate Systems.
We have been in business for 5 years. We mostly, our core business is engineering design, and we started out in the federal sector as far as that was really our core business. Then we have been able to have more clients come to us that are actually from the private sector, almost like what we would say entrepreneurs.
You bet, entrepreneurs that
Inventors.
we call ourselves the behind the Shark Tank guys, because with our engineering design capabilities that we have, we take ideas out of people's heads and turn them into reality, which means we create what's called intellectual property for our clients to get a thought out of their head into a design, utilizing 3D printers where it makes sense, and then results in taking them to market with an actual product. We do the same thing on the federal side for the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force, supporting various weapon systems, as we call it,
For
old
aging
parts.
weapon systems.
Legacy aircraft
And
systems.
so, actually, the majority of the weapon systems are all aging. They don't have any new equipment. And so they come to us with a part that has failed, and they don't have any drawings. And we create drawings for them, qualify a manufacturer, and provide them with whatever it is, either just the drawings or actually with a manufactured part for them.
And we also
So-
have a technology sector where we deal primarily in San Antonio with small to medium-sized businesses doing their complete IT infrastructure, the setup, all the way to cloud computing and hosting, to some blockchain implementation and things like that.
That's a wide range of clients.
We're very diverse.
So a new person that would love to do business with you, how do they reach out to you, and what would they need to focus on?
It's typically two things. It's our SEO awareness, obviously, from the use of Google searches. Finding Elevate Systems is pretty easy. And the second is word of mouth, because we get some clients in here and they see what we do. Matter of fact, our technology sector has been primarily only word of mouth referrals to have us come do work for them.
And it's amazing to us that these inventors that ended up coming to us, they were really just doing a Google search on someone that could do a prototype for them. And like you said, a lot of times they just have the idea in their head. They don't have it, or they have it drawn out on a piece of paper. And so what we do is we actually do the engineering design for it so that a drawing can be made, a drawing package can be made, and then a prototype can be printed. So it's exciting for us because they come in and we print their prototype and they're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I wanted it to look like, and now it's out of their head and it's actually right in front of
That's
them. as a
right. And the
prototype.
way this started was on this airplane right behind Marcella. It's a B-52 Stratofortress. Our first contract with Elevate Systems was to reverse engineer an asset on the aircraft. It's called a radar blower motor assembly. Blows cold air onto the old avionics on the aircraft so it won't overheat for engine startup, taxi, and takeoff. And we ended up utilizing additive manufacturing, 3D printing for the part. We printed it in aluminum, and then the final part came out to a thermoplastic resin, which is now flying on 40 B-52 aircraft today.
And it's a printed part, which is a huge deal. Huge.
Sounds like it. So, circling back, how did your first day look like as a chamber member? When did that happen?
The day we got our official incorporation is the day we wrote a check to the chamber.
We love that. And so, with that, what are some of the biggest benefits you have found belonging to the chamber?
I would say networking.
Networking, without a question. Typically in the past, we have seen such great value in getting access to people we need access to, not just in San Antonio, but on the SA to DC trip. I've been on that many, many times, not as Elevate Systems, only because now we're a tiny business and we spend our money focused on marketing what we do. But really, it's advocacy, friendship. As we see the leadership of the chamber, we also see what they're doing in areas that we're very interested in, like in the cybersecurity side, because we actually have our toes in the water on that area as well, and our military is the biggest one.
Now, what advice would you give a potential member?
Write that check. And I say that because it makes people who don't know, right? To be able to have these events and see what's going on within the city of San Antonio, and to have the advocacy from San Antonio up to Washington, D.C. makes a difference for all of us, because we care about legislation and we care about what's happening. We care about financial issues with the Department of Defense. And to me personally, that was one of the biggest positives, was having access to the Pentagon. I mean, direct access to the decision makers.
Which on our own we would not have been able to do that. I mean, you have to have someone that can advocate for you, and so that really makes a big difference.
Fantastic. And then what would you want to tell a potential future client?
Great question. We can solve it. There is no question. I mean, because there's almost not anything that we cannot do. If you have an idea in your head and you think, it happens to us all the time. They come in and they say, hey, I have an idea. What do you think? Our job is not necessarily to tell them what we think about the product, whether we think it's good or bad. Our job is to help them get that product into a state where they have intellectual property that they own, and then get it to market. And we do the full scale of the concept all the way to getting it to market. We have 2 examples that are fantastic right here in San Antonio. Most people have heard of Merge VR, the virtual reality. It's the purple mask, we call it. Well, Elevate, nobody knows, but Elevate Systems did the preliminary designs on the Merge virtual reality mask.
On the drawings.
On the drawings, that's right, initially to help them get the design. And today you see you can buy it on Amazon and Best Buy. Well, we're behind the scenes on that type of stuff. The second great example is we had a oil field services company found us on the internet out of Cotulla, big Cotulla, right? And they kept getting their Yeti coolers stolen out of the back of their trucks. So they came in here and asked us to design a locking device for Yeti coolers that is now available worldwide at denylocks.com. D-E-N-Y
And
locks.
now he's selling all these locks. Yes.
That is wonderful. Well, thank you again for your time. You guys have been wonderful. We appreciate your membership, and we hope that your message gets passed along to all of our future and current chamber members. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank
We
you.
appreciate it.